Let us pray. Mwenyezi Mungu, tukusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kujitoa kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Tukuomba utujalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. We have quorum. Clerk, do you have quorum? We don't. All right. Sergeant at Arms, ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
Clearly, we can see, or you can see, that the House does not have the required number of members inside it, that is the chambers, and that is what has necessitated that particular quorum bell. Members will be walking in as provided for in the House Standing Order number 40 once the prayer has been said and chair taken, and if there is no quorum, then a 10-minute quorum bell will be rung. Of course, this is to give room to the members to make their way inside the chambers, and that is what we will be seeing. Like we have just seen the Honorable Senator, that is the majority leader, also the Senator for Narok, just made their way into the chambers. So we will be seeing more senators. There is the Senator Eddie Okech, also the Honorable Senator for Kakamega, who is also the majority whip. Honorable Boni Halwale also seated inside the chambers. The quorum has been achieved. Allow me to hand you over to the live broadcast.
Number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Chairperson, Standing Committee on Energy, proceed to lay your paper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of this Senate today, 8th of August 2024, being the report of the Standing Committee on Energy on its inquiry into the liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, explosion in Muradi area, Embakasi, Nairobi City. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order, clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Senator Professor Margaret Kamar. The order is dropped. Chairperson, Standing Committee on Energy. Dr. Boni. Give notice to your motion, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to give notice to the following motion: that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Energy on its inquiry into the liquefied petroleum gas LPG explosion in Miradi area, Embakasi, Nairobi City County, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday the 8th, 2024. And Mr. Speaker, sir, my apologies, I didn't hear you call me out.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 52-1, Honorable Senator Karen Nyamu. That order is dropped. Request for statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. The Honorable Senator Karen Nyamu. That order is dropped. The Honorable Senator Alexander Mundigi.
Request for statement. Mr. Speaker, sir, request for statement on the operations of the Land Registry Office in Embu Town, Embu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources regarding operations at the Land Registry Office in Embu Town, Embu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I arise of the residents of Embu County have repeatedly contacted my office with the complaint that the Land Registry Office in Embu Town, Embu County has not been rendering effective service. The office is understaffed with only 2 officers who are assigned to be rarely available, those rendering the registry inactive. In the statement, the committee should 1. Explain why the Land Registry Office in Embu Town, Embu County is understaffed. Dispute the high demand for service from the residents. 2. State plans, if any, by the government to address the length by the officers working in this office, and if there are any plans to deploy more officers to the registry to enhance service delivery. Senator Mundigi, Embu County.
Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of Senator Sigei, I request for a statement on stalled and abandoned infrastructure projects in Bomet County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources regarding stalled and or abandoned infrastructure projects in Bomet County. Mr. Speaker, several incomplete and abandoned infrastructure projects in Bomet County represent a significant waste of public resources and have been deprived the residents of Bomet of services benefits they rightfully deserve. I would like to highlight specific projects that remained incomplete or abandoned for between 3 to 10 years, leading to substantial waste of public resources. Project number 1 is Danai Dam Water Project in Danai and Boswand. 2 are Aunet Water Projects in Masese, Singoret Wand. Bodet Aunet Water Project in Bodet, Merigi Wand. Oinopset Water Project in Kapsimbili, Merigi Wand. Ondieki Water Project, Water Spring in Kiprenji, Kembu Wand. Chebangang Water Project in Chebangang, Kimrot Wand. And Skutiet Water Project in Chesoen Wand. In the statement, the committee should state reasons why each project has stalled, been abandoned, remained incomplete, or is underutilized, and outline the measures and timelines for their anticipated completion or utilization. 2, indicate the individual budgetary allocations, expenditures through payments made to the respective contractors, and any pending payments. 3, table the minutes of the tender warrants, copies of tender advertisements, and tender evaluation reports for each listed project. And 4, provide the bill of quantities for each project and their current implementation status or development stage, signed by Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei, MP, Senator from Bomet County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kathuri Murungi, the Senator for Meru. Senator Cheranke. And Senator Chiranke, you know you cannot have audience because you've got some substantiations to make. So proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I request for your indulgence after you directed that I substantiate on two issues on the status of repair after the issue of insurance, the status of repair on the issue of after the invasion to Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and secondly was on the issue of installation of security system within Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I did write to the Director General of Parliamentary Joint Services under Article 35 and 34, and I still request for indulgence to get the information to firm up my substantiation when we resume from the sitting. Mr. Speaker, with a lot of indulgence, since the Director General is here to add me more information to firm it up, I request and I beg for your indulgence so that when we resume from recess, I'll be able to give a solid and a substantive response to the House. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, sorry, I can table the letter that has been received in furtherance of my further clarification.
Can I look
at
that
thank
later?
you.
Can I look that later before I give directions? Senator Chirange, your request has been granted. You will substantiate upon resumption after this short recess. Now, I had called the Senator for Meru, Senator Kathuri Murungi. Any senator holding his brief? Okay, then that statement is dropped. We'll now proceed to the statement pursuant to Standing Order 57-1, the Senate Majority Leader. Senate Majority Leader.
My apologies, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 57-1 to hereby present the business of the Senate for the week commencing Tuesday, the 3rd of September 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, and I'm not very sure how accurate this statement is, Mr. Speaker, in light of some breaking news that I have just seen as I was walking into the chamber. I am more than certain, Mr. Speaker, that despite my statement stating that we'll be back here on the 3rd of September, I know for a fact that there is business that is by statutory demand that we must conduct in the next 7 days. Should you receive a certain letter, which I suspect Senator Kathuri has gone for. That's why it's not in the House. Be that as it may, Mr. Speaker, we senators are aware that in accordance with the calendar for the third session, at the rise of the House today, the Senate will proceed on recess until 3rd of September, barring that letter that I've just pointed to, and also the fact, Mr. Speaker, that you know presently the Inspector General of Police is being vetted by both our committees on national security, and I suspect that that report may be ready way in advance, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, there is very likely, there is a likelihood, Mr. Speaker, that this actually might be interrupted. Mr. Speaker, a major hallmark...
Senator Eddy, what is your point of order? I thought this is rather procedural for the Senate Majority Leader to give an update on business of the House.
Mr. Speaker, standing orders of this House do not allow us to anticipate any debate. And I can see that the Senate majority is anticipating some debate that it keeps on quoting, because now I'm confused on this procedural motion that is moving.
Senator Eddy, thank God you've stated your problem. You're confused. Have a seat. Proceed.
That is unfair. I must defend Senator Eddy. major hallmark of Part 3 of the Senate calendar has been the passage of resolution of the current state of the nation. In the resolution, Mr. Speaker, a motion that was debated here for the longest time, I think a motion has spent on the floor of this House, Mr. Speaker, for 5 straight days uninterrupted. Members shared their thoughts on what needs to happen in this republic. Mr. Speaker, we had 2 or 3 things that we requested as a House, and the House resolved, one of which was to send the resolutions that the Senate passed to both the leader of Azimio, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and to President William Ruto. That I can confirm was done. What I'm not sure, Mr. Speaker, is whether our various committee chairpersons have begun work on the resolutions that were passed by this House, Mr. Speaker. There is specific work that we gave to the Budget and Finance Committee, to Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, to Cohesion. Senator Chute is here, and I don't know which other committee. Mr. Speaker, and I think Security and Foreign Relations, yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'd be very perturbed if our chairpersons do not respect even our own resolutions. It is my sincere hope.
Senator Chirange, have your seat. You're out of order. You're contravening Standing Order 117. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, you know Senator Cherargei is smartly dressed today, and I am sure this is not from Toy Market, which he claimed he shops from. Mr. Speaker. A major hallmark of Part 2 of the Senate calendar, Mr. Speaker, were the resolutions that we gave to the various committees. And therefore, it is my sincere hope, Mr. Speaker, that these chairpersons will actually comply with the resolutions of the House. Mr. Speaker, with respect to the business of the Senate, the status of legislative business is as follows. There are 54 bills that are pending conclusion in the Senate, of which 42 are actually at the second reading. And while 12 are at the committee of the whole stage. There are 21 motions that are pending conclusion, 20 petitions that are due for reporting by the respective standing committees, 390 Agnes Kavindu, and final will be question number 88 to CS John Badi from Senator Joyce Korir. Mr. Speaker, sir, the business for that week on the 4th of September, the afternoon sitting will include business that will not have been concluded in the order paper for Tuesday, the 3rd of September, 2024. There are various bills that are at the second reading stage, Mr. Speaker, and I need not mention because a good number of them are actually before this House and members know. There are bills that are at the committee of the whole stage, which include the Houses of Parliament bicameral relations bill. Mr. Speaker, before you release funds to any of this county, and you know PFM, I think Regulation 19 or 18 permits that the controller of budget actually enforces the implementation of budget